All right, hello everyone. This is gonna be for episode 1 of AlexWest Unplugged. I am your host, Alex West. I'm a salaryman VTuber. I'm also an official NGS content creator, and we have here our 4 special guests. So, who wants to go first, guys?
Hi, I'm Kero. I make YouTube videos. Yeah. You probably know me from PSO2. Okay, that's my intro. I'm done.
All right, next.
Okay, hello, I'm EmikoAi, creator of Wanderer channels. I used to play other games such as Soul Walker, Elsword Cruisers, so you may know me from there. Before I joined to PSO2 for the NGS content creator. That's all.
All right, so we got Emmy as well. Who wants to
Yep.
go? Mm-hmm. Zan?
I picked Zan. Yeah, Zan intro.
Okay, sure. I'll do it. Yeah, my name's Zan. I am not a official content creator yet. I don't know. Right now, I'm in mid hiatus for burnout reasons, but yeah, hi.
You know, Zan, in our hearts, you're still a content creator for us.
Oh, thanks.
All right. And lastly, we got Kystal.
Hello, my name is Kystalstar. I'm a writer streamer with a focus on PSO2. I'm an NGS visual creator, and it's nice to meet you. I also like to sing and play the ukulele.
All right. So our podcast topic will be focusing on the experience of Base PSO2, NGS, and other MMORPGs. So for my case, I did play Base PSO2, but I didn't stream it. So I start streaming on NGS, but you know me, I played a lot of MMORPGs such as Ragnarok Online. I'm a pretty much a boomer in terms of MMORPGs. We got Kero here who started making videos way back in Base PSO2, and up until now, he's making a lot of daily videos, I should say, in NGS. Kystal pretty much stream Base PSO2, very popular Base PSO2 streamer, and still a very popular NGS streamer and official content creator as well. And we got Zan, who stream Base PSO2 and NGS as well. And then we got our friend here, Emmy. Emmy is a different case because Emmy didn't play Base PSO2 at all. However, Emmy focused on making guides, or sorry, not guides, sorry, videos. And we all know that Emmy is one of the big whales of Ship 2. And as you can see on the video made by Emmy, Emmy posts a lot of Emmy spending a lot of AC. So that is really quite interesting one. All right. So, like I said a while ago, we'll be focusing on our different experiences with Base PSO2, NGS, and other online MMORPGs. So, one of my first question to you guys is, what made you start playing Phantasy Star Online 2? I want to know first from Kero, because Kero is the one who made a lot of daily videos.
So I played PSO2 to begin with because of another streamer that I used to watch. I watched Cryfu. Cryfu was a different streamer. He just streamed like whatever he wanted. And then whenever I saw him play PSO2, he was always having a good time. And this was back when PSO2 was only available on the Xbox back in the global version. And so I just watched him play, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll try out that game. And it just so happened that the MMO that I was covering before, which was Blade and Soul, wasn't treating me very well. You know, it was kind of dying out. The community was just kind of, just less and less people are playing it. So I was like, you know what? I'll give this game a shot. And I really liked it. After playing it for like 2 weeks straight, I was like, all right, you know, I can make content on this game. And even though a lot of people know me now as like the daily upload guy, I daily uploaded PSO2 content for like 3 months before anyone really noticed me. Like any other content creators, such as Gemma or previously known as like Anna Mana, like they didn't even know me until 3 months later of daily uploads. So, it takes a little bit of time as a content creator to get noticed. But yeah, pretty much it's just, the game just is, it's a fun game and there's a lot of funny quirks with it. So I like it.
All right. Yeah, I used to remember watching one of your early videos back in Base PSO2. I was like, look at this guy trying to upload daily videos. Let's see how long he will last. And he lasted for like years.
Yeah, man. Here I am, 4 years later. I'm still kicking, guys.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So next, Kystal. Yo, Kystal. I want to know what makes you start playing PSO2?
Oh yeah, so for me, a friend of mine recommended Base PSO2 to me. That's like, oh yeah, the game is going to be on global, and it's going to be released at this date. You should definitely join and try it out. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And that's how my journey started.
I think I know this friend. Yeah, oh, yeah. I think I know.
Yes.
Zan, what's your reason for playing PSO2?
So much like Alex, I am on the boomer side of the gaming sphere.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started playing. I went over to a buddy's house when the on the Dreamcast.
Oh.
And play. He's like, "Hey, check out this game. It's really cool. It's called Phantasy Star Online."
Mm-hmm.
So played that for a bit and got really in depth with it. Mind you, this was back in the day when you had to make sure that you didn't have people calling in or out while you're on the internet.
Oh yeah, dial-up connection.
Yep, it was using Sega.net and
Okay.
their 56K modem that plugged into the back of the Dreamcast. So
Damn.
I'm playing this
Mhm.
and ended up eventually picking up Dreamcast of my own. Never really played it all that much. But then I'm sitting there watching, and I think it was right around when the pandemic was happening. I hear all this noise that, oh, hey, they're finally bringing PSO2 to the West because it had been a Japanese-only game for the longest time. And so I started looking into it, and I wanted to get into the open beta, which unfortunately was Xbox only, which was the time that Kara was mentioning. And just from there, like, somehow managed to ride the fire hose of updates that we were getting nonstop until the very end. And yeah, it was fun.
That's fun. Yeah, actually, I was able to try out the closed beta of Base PSO2 in global because I have an Xbox One. However, I didn't play a lot because I was really intrigued with Monster Hunter during that time. But yeah, I can definitely see a lot of people super excited when they announced it on E3 that Phantasy Star is finally coming to NA. That was a lot of people were like they were so hyped. Finally, a game that only Japan exclusive for 8 years is coming to global, and it's one of the biggest change I would say in the market right now. All right, Emmy, since you didn't play Base PSO2, but that's okay, what makes you decide to play NGS and drop the previous MMORPG that you're playing?
Okay, so I was playing the previous MMORPG, which the Closers, and then my child friend asked me to play PSO2 for quite some time. I think about 8 years, right? Then I didn't want to give it a try. So suddenly I just give it a try, and then I meet my people like such as Nick, Anira, and KV, and after that I stay here. Yeah, until now.
So Closers is similar with Elsword.
Yes, it's
Ah,
2.5D game.
yeah. So kind of like Renova, because I know Renova came from Elsword as well.
Yep.
All right. I guess for me, like I said, I was playing Monster Hunter. So I was playing Monster Hunter. I saw the ET trailer. Oh, it's coming to global, so I tried it out. But I'm not gonna lie, when I saw it's coming for Steam, or sorry, for PC version, that is where my friend started playing as well. So I was on ship 2 during that time, and then I transferred to ship 3 because I want more money. And then I told my friends, guys, go to ship 3. I think ship 3 is gonna be more gonna be the best for money wise and stuff like that. So I stayed on ship 3 for a very long time, and then Kero, Kystal, Zan. I'm sorry, Kero, Kystal dragged my ass to ship 2.
Listen, we didn't do anything. He did this on his own accord.
That's true.
And also my viewers as well. Like, just go to ship 2, Alex. Go back to ship 2. So yeah. Well, look at me now. We're having our first episode of podcast. Anyway. Now for my second question, how was your experience in PSO2 NGS different from the original or from base PSO2? Is there something that you might wanna add or something that you might wanna remove?
Let's go in reverse this time. Let Kystalstar first.
Yeah, sure. Crystal?
Eh.
Ladies first.
So for question 2,
Mm-hmm. What was the experience? Difference between base and NGS?
I think it was just mainly the I think the pacing, definitely, which affected like what content that I did in the game. So I remember in base PS2, I think I just mainly had a focus on like dailies, but in like the content that I run was usually the reason with that was to upgrade my gear
Mm-hmm.
and to allow for story progression, because that you've got it's a big chunk of story to get through. That was something I wanted to get through. So I think that was like kind of like the main focus. And then for NGS, it is still kind of like things carried over. So I still like to do dailies on stream and things, but I find that I'm kind of having like a different focus, or like we do dailies and then we'll do focus on the new content that comes out, as it releases at the different pace. Yeah.
All right. Anyone who wants to share their experience, the difference between PSO2 and NGS?
Go with Zan next.
All right, Zan.
It's been very different, but I think it's an interesting different.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, it's been fun, but the much slower pace, like I said earlier, it was a fire hose coming through base PSO2 that getting into my head, or well, I kept saying it all the time to people complaining. It's like, oh, there's not enough content. It's like, they originally came out very early on saying that this was not designed to be a primary game. Like, if you need to come back every 3 months, 6 months, it's fine. And that kind of stuck in my head, and that ability, like I've actually stopped playing a little bit myself,
Mm-hmm.
and having that ability to come back to it every once in a while and have fun with like Line Strike or other like story updates, stuff like that, but still not having that FOMO that we had during base, I think is actually both good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, actually, I do agree with you. You usually hear me say this on my stream that NGS or base PSO2 will, well, if we're gonna compare it, we're gonna go for the same direction Japan did for base PSO2. It's gonna be absolutely slow, and the content will be just very chill, just tiny bits. But I'm not gonna lie with you, taking a break from this game is also nice to have from time to time. And then what's the big advantage of NGS is that even after you take a break, like 3 months, 6 months, you'll be able to get all of your gear within a year. Oh, sorry, within a month, I should say. It's so easy to play this game. That's why I really love it, and I always gonna one of my best games that I would recommend for everyone to try out. All right.
Okay.
Caro?
Does Emiko answer this question or
Not
just-
yet.
is
Yeah, I want to know from
Haven't.
Emiko, because Emiko is from closers. So what's the difference between NGS and closers?
If I could say, be honest, right? Closer is like a whale game. PSO2 is like a free-to-play game. Yeah, that's my experience with it. Because you have to, okay, imagine there's a plus 25 enhancement, and each enhancement you have to spend around 1,000 USD to get it success, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for PSO2 NGS is different now. You just spend maybe about 5 USD, you can get a new weapon. Yeah, that's my experience.
Yeah, actually, games like Elsword, Closers, if you really want to become top tier, you have to spend so much money. That's why I pretty much don't want to spend a lot of time with Elsword before.
Yep.
All right.
Right. So the main difference between the base game and NGS is actually pretty intense. For those who never played the base game, which I know is a large majority of the viewers, we were given 10 years of content in 1 year. So we literally had new gear every week, every 2 weeks, and we were constantly upgrading. And there was campaigns after campaigns after campaigns. So we were conditioned for an entire year of like, oh, there's always something to farm, there's always something to upgrade every 2 weeks. And then after NGS dropped, like we literally blasted through everything, even with the insane lag spikes that was going on, like for the first week, where you'd hit an enemy for like 10 minutes and then you see all the damage numbers. Like it even with that type of lag, we still managed to complete the game and beat everything the game had to offer in like a couple of days. Then we were just like, all right, what's next? And honestly, I have no idea how I did daily uploads back in like the pre-level 20 days in NGS, because there was literally no content. But coming from that point of view to now, NGS is so much better, but it's because I've experienced through the entire process of NGS's evolution of like slowly improving. Like every single NGS headline, we see quality of life updates here and there. And a lot of people don't understand, like, oh, it's just quality of life. Who cares? I want new content. I want new things to farm for. I want new game modes. But from an older player who's been around since day one, like a lot of those quality of life updates were things that we wanted like a year ago, 2 years ago, and we're finally getting them. So, as I said in many of my videos, Sega is really slow on updates, but they do update, they do care about the game, and we eventually do get all the changes that we want. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie with you. Seeing those quality of changes in the headline, it feels like Christmas. You waited for like months and months. You ask your parents, "Hey, I want this thing," and then finally they drop it. Yeah, I really love that kind of feeling. Yes, finally we're getting it, and we asked that for months and months and months. And one thing that I love about this game is that Sega really prioritized the things that the player requests for, like a better lock on target. Yeah, I know it's not the best right now, but they're really working on it. Indicators for crit damage. Before, it's so hard to determine which one was the crit damage. Now we can see yellow crits, right? So it was a big change, a lot of good quality of life that they're giving us. And I do hope more stuff will be added in the future. All right. So, question number 3 here. What do you like the most in PSO2 NGS?
All right, I'll start off with this. Give Kystal some time to think.
Okay.
Dropped it on her last question.
That's all good.
All right. So the things that I like most about NGS has to be the combat. It's always been about the combat. Fighting just feels good in NGS. Like, it's different from the base game. Base game fighting felt really fast and really good as well. It's very snappy. But when you first transition over to NGS, it's a little bit weird. You're kind of like, what on earth is going on? And again, if you were a day one player, you're like, what the hell? Base game, we have like 20 different photon arts per class. Then you come to NGS and you have like 3. So it was really jarring in the beginning. But slowly but surely, we are getting, customizations. And now we're getting the whole Mars system to make our gameplay a little bit more interesting. But at the end of the day, it's still the combat that feels the best. That's the main thing I like.
Yeah, same. I do love the combat in this game. That's why I focus more on combat. All right. Next is Emmy. Yeah, let's go with Emmy second.
Family. I don't
So
have friends, but I have family. So basically, what I enjoy most in PSO NGS is the family and the people in here. All of them is very nice
Mhm.
and very talkative and always hang out with you. Yeah, it's different from other MMORPG that I played before. Yeah.
Yeah, this one
So
thing
this.
about. Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no, this what I want to say. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, actually, in NGS, this is a very different game because before I used to play other MMORPGs, and sometimes people don't want to talk to random people. In this game, you can just randomly start a conversation with someone, and then they'll definitely start talking to you. One of my experience as well in way back in Ship 3 is that when we were doing DFI and we want some party as well, right? I just started there I guess shouting in the central city, need party for DFI, and then people start making party. A lot of people does that as well, and it was a very different experience from other MMORPGs that I have played in the past. Zan, what is the best thing that you like about NGS?
I would say it's kind of one of those things that it's a blend of everything that works really well. And I think the fact that you can do so many different things. Like if you feel like one day just going out and doing fashion, you can do that. One day that you feel like playing card games, you can do that now. You just want to mindlessly grind away and get a load of money for whatever weapon upgrades, fashion, whatever you can. So having that flexibility, I think, is great within NGS. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of fallen back from that combat side of things, but it's kind of like a more of a sandbox kind of style that you can really do whatever you want. And for the most part, you can just get away with playing how you want to. Sometimes you'll have to go and grind out for like money or whip out the credit card or something like that. But just having the ability to do things that you want to do and you're not required to go and do like dual quests, or you don't have to go play line strike, or you don't have to sit there and farm up purple triggers all day long. You can literally sit in the salon all day long with probably one of the most flexible character creators I've ever seen. So having that ability to kind of mix up your play style that you really can't get bored with, or by doing the same thing over and over and over again, because there's so many things you can do within the game and just take breaks from whatever that is. So you could potentially be playing the game literally all week long, but you've never done the same thing every night.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of flexibility on what you can do, right? Just like what you said. Yeah, you can focus purple triggers, let's say for Monday, and then Tuesday you'll do grinding on text base. Wednesday you can probably because that's gonna be a reset. You wanna buy something on the new AC scratch, or you're gonna be in the salon. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's one thing that I like about NGS, the flexibility. I don't find myself bored or doing the same thing over and over again. I can go purple triggers, I can go dex based farming and whatsoever, you know. But yeah, it's a great thing that we have that here in NGS, because in other MMORPGs, you log in on Monday, you're gonna do the same thing by Tuesday. You're gonna farm and look for that best equipment. All right, Kistal.
Yes. So I enjoy the group content, such as like the Dark Falls fights. It reminds me of similar fights in Base PSO2.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like that they're slowly rolling out like all ship matchmaking and different content. So you can play with people from different ships.
Oh yeah, the all ship matchmaking. Yeah, that's also one of the best things that they added recently.
For sure. Yes.
All right. Um, I guess yeah, I already said that I do like combat. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. Are there any features that you miss in any features you miss from base PSO2 to NGS? I'll answer this first. Okay. One thing that I miss on base PSO2 to NGS is the augmenting system. Because we used to check a specific website for like 2 hours. Okay, and that's something that I kind of miss. I know it's hard to augment in base PSO2, but I do miss that feeling. Uh, I guess we can start with Caro. Yo, Caro, what do you miss from base PSO2?
Objection. I disagree. Your opinion is crap. I hated the augmenting system back in the base game. It was horrible, dude.
It was
I mean,
confusing.
it
You
was
needed a
so
PhD
confusing.
to figure out that system.
Yeah, I had to pull out like Excel spreadsheets. I made like an hour-long video explaining how to make Guardian Soul, and like that was edited. It was an hour long. The raw video was like 6 hours of me going like, how do I explain this to people? It was so difficult.
You know, Levi was crying when I put her on that one as well.
Bro, it was yeah, okay. You know, other than the augmenting system, personally, I think when we came over from PSO to the NGS, the thing that I missed the most was zigs. Like the whole feeling of like, oh, my weapon is never going to be absolutely useless was such a good feeling because each weapon had its own special weapon potential, right? Like you had one that refilled your photon power whenever you switched to it. You had one that allowed you to have access to specific photon arts that other classes don't have. Like those were really cool ideas that I really liked in the base game. And so when we got NGS and it was just like, oh yeah, all you need to do is increase potency, get more damage. Big damage means big numbers, pew pew. I was like, okay, this is kind of like a downgrade from from the base game. The base game was so much cooler. And then we had the different Scion classes that were also really cool. You know, sure, the hero broke the game for a little bit, but nevertheless, we did have some cool classes, and everyone was like, wow, you know, when the Slayer came in, when the hero came in, when the what's the other class? The
Phantom.
Phantom came in. Yeah, Phantom was really cool. Even though I sucked at it, but it was cool. And we had Etoile as well. Like there were some cool concepts, cool ideas that were already working in the base game. And I was kind of like, Sega, you have a perfect formula here. Just port it over to NGS and we'll be fine. But they didn't listen. Maybe we'll get it in like, 2 years from now or 3 years from now. But for now, this is how things are.
All right. Um, Dan, what do you miss from base PSO2 to NGS?
So as much as I grilled or roasted you on it, the augmentation wasn't actually like once you got the hang of it, it wasn't bad. It was extremely detailed, but especially the late games. But I would say the actual thing I would miss the most. I mean, the casino. I think, yeah, no, I'm gonna say the casino and the cafe, because as much as they wanted to try and set it up all within Central City, having the individual sections that you had to go to, like you went to the lobby for either class upgrades or missions. You went to the cafe to just kind of hang out and go talk to or go get your allowance from what's his name? I'm blanking on his name. The guy that you drop off the trash to for like 500,000 Meseta or something like that.
Oh yeah, that guy that gives a lot of money.
Yeah, you go to the casino and have fun over there. You go to the shopping plaza to watch the concerts, the events. So having something like that, I feel like is probably the biggest thing that I like truly miss, other than a massively advanced or in-depth story. But I know that's going to take time. But yeah, I'd say probably like the separation and the specificity of those certain events or in certain areas, I think is probably what I miss the most.
Yeah, because I do remember our alliance before with Iron Blood back in Ship 3. We used to hang out in the cafe. And every time we're gonna do UQ, we gathered there as well. If there's gonna be concert, we go out to the cafe and then we pretty much check out the concert and stuff like that. And one thing that I also miss so much in base PSO2 is something like you said before, is the casino. I really, really want to have a casino on NGS. And
Yeah.
we are now getting Peggy 18, right? We're going for Peggy 18, and hopefully this time, I do hope we can get a casino that is similar with FF14. I guess you guys play FF14. I didn't play FF14. I played a little, sorry. And I saw the casino there. It's a casino and amusement park. And I was like, I want to have something like this for NGS. So I
have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What if, or do you think the capability is there, that somehow they make the casino a separate, I guess, server would be the best way to put it, so that you can connect in, and it's essentially a third area that's separate from Base and NGS, but you can't actually log into it. Like, you can't go to Steam and say NGS Casino, but it ties in so you don't have to download the whole 100 gigs from Base, but you're still able to tie into it somehow with NGS.
Actually, I kind of like that idea, you know? Instead of downloading something like Base, it's like super big. We just get the casino and we just log in there. You know? I think that one would be a nice idea. What do you guys think?
I think it's better as just like a DLC. I personally, that's just my personal take, is just have it like how Steam handles the base game right now. It's like you download NGS, it's like I don't know how many gigs, like 30 gigs or something. And then if you want the base game, you can download the rest. If you want the casino, you can download that. But I understand where Zan's coming from. It's gonna remind me a little bit of like the JP server when we had the ES thing, like on your mobile phone. I think it was like a JP exclusive where you did tasks there and you get some rewards in the base game. But personally, I feel like the strength of a casino, as well as like Franca's Cafe and stuff like that, is having the existing players already in NGS have somewhere to go to hang out. That's what I think the value comes from. So personally, I think they should just toss it into the base game, or not into the base game, into NGS, sorry, and then just have people who play NGS, who have NGS, automatically have access to the casino, because that way you can just all go there and play together, you know? I would like to see that personally, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Wait, before we proceed with Emmy, would you guys agree if those kind of areas will be multi-ship?
They have to be multi-ship.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right,
Yeah, I would
Emmy.
definitely agree with that.
I guess since you play Closer, what's
Yep.
something that you miss from Closer that you want to add for NGS?
I think for NGS they lack of one thing called direct trading, and also gifting. So
Oh.
all the other MMORPG they have the direct trading, here don't have. Yep.
Actually, that is
Yeah.
a good one. We don't have trading system in NGS.
We
Yep.
had it in the base game. What happened, Sega?
Yep.
People got greedy and people threw money at other people that Sega said, wait, that's not a good thing.
Oh, I see. I think it would be nice if they add this in. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I agree. Just gifting would be nice.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
And
Next
yeah.
question.
All right. Next question. Okay.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Oh, did we miss Kystal?
Oh, wait,
shoot, my bad.
wait, Kystal. Right. All right,
Okay, that's all
Kystal.
good. I was just gonna add to the list. Definitely miss the old ship area where you can hang out and like host events and stuff. That basically the PvP lobby in Base PSO2. I really liked it because you can, anyone with any ship can join one place, and we could host events and anyone could join.
Yeah. Actually, I do miss PvP. Now you mentioned PvP. I used to make PvP content on stream, you know. So if we're gonna have PvP on NGS, I'll just bring Kystal because Kystal's gonna one-shot everyone. So it's an easy win.
wait.
Yeah. Crystal Speed.
I said PvP lobby, just a lobby.
No, we bring Kystal. That's the strategy here, you know. People are gonna say, Alex, you can't beat me. Yep, but you can't beat her.
Hang on a minute.
Man. All right. We go for our next question. So next question is the graphics. So how do you compare graphics from PSO2 NGS to the other MMORPGs that you played? Okay. Because one thing, this is a big difference, is I guess Ragnarok Online and Dragonest. I would say Dragonest has a bit medium on the graphics. NGS is like top notch in terms of graphics, I would say. What's your opinion as well, guys? I wanna know your opinion about the graphics.
Let's start with Kystal this time then.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that being compared to other games I've played, I think it's good. I don't really have much to comment on for this question. Yes.
All right. Let's go with Emmy.
Oh yes. Oh wait Okay. So you mean the graphic, right?
Yeah, graphics. Yeah, you're the one with the powerful PC, so I wanna know.
Wow, the graphic is super nice. I see already my eye pop out. Super nice. Compared to other game, even the Soul Worker cannot beat the graphic of this game. Yep, that's what I can conclude about it.
Mm-hmm. Zan.
It's obviously you're not going to be sitting there running around like expecting Elden Ring kind of like vistas and everything like that, but for what it is and what it needs to be, I think that it's actually pretty good. Because you do have some really nice views. Like if you go out to like even the new Kavaris uh custom or creative space, blank down the name for a second. You still have those really nice views and vistas and everything like that. Plus the characters look nice, and whether you decide to use the cell shading or not, then it's two different entirely different styles, to be honest, in that case. So in that case, like I would definitely say the graphics are on the better end, depending on, and has the flexibility to kind of reduce or increase as needed depending on what your system's able to produce or not.
All right. Caro.
Yeah, I agree with Zan. It's kind of dependent on your computer. If you can max out everything like Emiko's OP computer at 4K and like do everything max, the game is really pretty. But for the average player that's playing like 1080p, 60 FPS with like medium settings, or even worse, like your console player and you're playing on like your PlayStation 4, the game is pretty jarring graphics wise. So there's a huge spectrum, right? Of like whether you're playing on low potato graphics or you're playing fully maxed out 4K graphics. But you know, I'll just speak for my perspective. I play the game at 2K resolution, 60 FPS, everything maxed out. The game looks really good at those settings, but I understand that hey, you need like a $2,000 PC or at least a $1,500 PC to run all those settings, and not everyone can afford that. But compared to my old MMO that I used to play, I played Blade and Soul before. The artist of that game actually left Blade and Soul and opened his own company called Shift Up. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably played the game Nikkei.
Oh.
Okay,
So
okay.
so my perspective of beauty is very skewed in that direction, you know? So when I can play Nikkei on my phone and I'm looking at that graphics and I'm looking at NGS with my $2,000 computer, I'm kind of like, man, I kind of wish NGS looked more like Nikkei, you know, or looked like Stellar Blade and looked like those type of games that Shift Up has made. But I understand that this is an MMO. Obviously, there's a lot more moving parts in this game versus a mobile game where, you know, the art is kind of like 2.5D, 2D. And so I understand the limitations. But from my point of view of the graphical fidelity, I think NGS is up there, but it's not like God tier. It's like maybe like a solid A, while Nikkei and Stellar Blade is like an S tier with the physics and stuff like that, you know, wink wink, nudge nudge.
Well, and I think you pointed out too that it's a different
Mm.
style choice because obviously you compare like Nikkei or Stellar Blade to NGS to 14. Like all of them have their good points, or like a Cyberpunk. Like all of them have good things about them. They're just a different style, and it'd be based on preference at that point.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Yep, exactly. Zan summed it up pretty much
Yep.
perfectly.
Perfectly. Perfect. Every minute detail about it. All right. So we have two more questions here, guys. So one question that I would like to ask you. I know what's gonna be Crystal and Karo's answer on this, but what is your favorite class in NGS?
Let's start with someone else that's not Kistel and me then.
Yeah, let's go with Zan. I want to know Zan because I'm always confused what class Zan plays.
I play class. Yes, I really enjoy class, and it is a very much like it. Class is very much different than other class, and no, yeah, it's. I generally tend to play force, but I played base PSO2 and well, I played as base as bouncer, and I really loved it. And I had to step back to Tekker until they released bouncer in NGS, which I enjoyed both of those. Um, very like a lot of the boot style, but then it was kind of it got boring, I guess would be the best way to put it for my taste. So that's when I went to force, and at the same time, it's still kind of basic and boring in some people's opinions. But I kind of like bouncing between like I generally am force bouncer in some way, shape, or form. But I do like mixing things up like gunner, ranger, stuff like that, just to try something different. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be bouncer.
Bouncer, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bouncer jet boots, right? In specific, jet boots bouncer in base PSO2 feels super fluid and they attack super fast. That's why I really love jet boots bouncer in base PSO2. Next, let's go with Emmy because Emmy, I'm pretty much sure it's gonna be Slayer, right?
Yep. Okay, so I used to play sword and katana when I was new to NGS, right? Then
Uh-huh.
after that, Anira and Nick, right? They forced me to train in the purples without using any sword or katana. They asked me to play as Gunblade. And then I was screaming inside the game, and then I get used to Gunblade to now. Yep.
Alright,
So that's why,
Mhm. Go ahead.
yeah. So that's why I play Slayer right now.
Yeah, do you remember when I brought you to Ordinal, not Ordinal Tower, Geolabs R2?
Yes, I scream and I cry. Then my brother come to my room and slap me. Yeah, it was in the middle of the night. Then I was like, that's why you play here. Ah! Then I scream around. Then I press the weapon action and I become helicopter. Then I die.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, Geolabs R2 is really hard, and I'm surprised that you haven't tried it. So that's the reason
Yep.
why I brought you there.
Yep. Because I only play end game stuff. Because all the game that I play, right, I only focus on the end game boss. Yeah, that's what I do only for all the games. Yep. That's why I never try out the other stuff in NGS lah.
All right, so let's go with Kistal. Kistal.
Yes. I played Braver. Played it in base PS2. It wasn't the one I was going to start with originally. I think I was planning on like a healer class, kind of like this kind of thing. I was looking towards that, but and Bravery was one of the classes to go towards that, and I never really left the class. And then with NGS, I started with Hunter because it wasn't available, and then as soon as Bravery was available, I locked the class in.
Oh, and our resident katana boy.
Yeah, man, Braver all the way. What other classes are available in this game? There's only Braver,
Slayer
guys. Don't you
Hunter.
know? The tutorial is Braver. You know, you start the game, it forces you to play Braver, guys.
Yes. Yes, correct.
I'm very biased, everyone. I main Braver, and I like the class. I really like how Braver plays, and so I just stuck with it all along. But when NGS first released, obviously there was no Braver, and so we played Hunter, just like Kistel. However, the moment Braver came out, I switched over. I realized how garbage it was, but I still stuck with it. And people were just like, they didn't understand, but I know. I'm loyal to my class. And so I stuck with it until it became good. And now it's kind of mediocre, even though everyone still thinks that's its OP, but it's actually like, it's balanced now, guys. Like, actually balanced, not like me memeing around.
Yeah, actually, Braver now is very balanced. I cannot say what specific class I am, to be fair, because every time I say a specific class, Sega is gonna nerf it. Remember my Ranger Katana? Ranger Katana was nerfed. I play Hunter a few months ago. They nerf Hunter because they seem that, oh, Hunter is busted. Maybe I should play Bouncer this time. So Bouncer will get some nerfs. Get some nerfs on the Pinion Blade. 'Cause I'm not gonna lie with you. Pinion Blade is super strong. Like it can hit like 300k if you land a crit, and that's how super strong it is. Like I'm really envy that Soaring Blades gets like 3 buffs like a few months ago. Like they straight up buff it really really good. So maybe I should start playing it as well. Sega might nerf it, and then it's a great way for me to look for another class again.
Listen, Alex, you can play any class you want, just don't touch Braver, and you're fine.
Oh, maybe I should go Braver this time.
No. You're banned from that class.
Your parry, it's 1000 range, pretty much tracking ability as well, which is absolutely crazy.
It's hit scan as well.
Yeah, hit scan, yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so last question for everyone. Okay. What is the improvements do you hope to see in NGS in the future?
I'll start here. So the main thing that I want is obviously more content to do. So even though it's a huge improvement from our heydays from the day one release of NGS, but I still want more content. I still want more things to farm for. I want a clear end game, some sort of progression system. I want an easy way to farm Meseta, like a clear-cut way to farm Meseta other than just going to combat zones. We need a little bit more variety. I would like life skilling of some sort that I can just like play Farmville or Stardew Valley in NGS and make money that way. Like, level up pharmacy or work, just level up some other life skilling skills so that I can make money that way. And like blacksmithing and stuff like that would be really cool. But I know I'm asking too much because I'm sure Sega won't do all of these things, or at least anytime soon. But at the end of the day, just have more things to do as a player, as a streamer, as a content creator. We need things to do in the game so that people can see how good this game is, because it's a really good game. But yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, actually, I do kind of like some life skills, So I can ask, so what's your profession? Farmer. What's your profession? A physician. All right, let's go with Emmy. Emmy, what other improvements do you want to see in NGS in the future?
Okay, so basically my improvement is almost the same as Keroppi. And sorry, Keroppi, I think I want Keroppi character body PO to gacha.
Oh God, please.
Give me our gacha. Yeah, they basically
Lol.
80 scratch. That's my improvement for it.
Yes, all right. I'll tell Sega that we should have a creator AC scratch in the future.
Yes, I want it.
All right, let's go with Zan.
I would say, probably, to be honest, more story, I think. Like, I know it's going to get there eventually, but having, like, you walk into Base PSO2, you have literally a month and a half if you play nonstop worth of content in there. And it's all tied to each other. And that was actually one of the videos I was working on before I stopped making videos. Was going to talk about those things that they tied in even as early as episode 1 into stuff that they were doing in episode 5 and 6. But and I understand that obviously 8 years of content is gonna get you so far, and we haven't hit that 8-year point, but having some meat to our story instead, like we're just snacking on chips and hummus and stuff like that. Like we're just having snacks. We haven't actually gotten to the meat of the story yet. And that's the part that I'm really looking forward to seeing, because like there's hints. They've been like, obviously a lot of people were complaining about the fact that they're reusing models, but they finally gotten to the point in the story where, well, this is why we're seeing those old models. And I want to see more of that. And that's going to be my biggest request, is like give us bigger chunks of story That way we can actually sink our teeth into it, other than the just little bits and pieces that we've gotten along the way.
All right. Since you mentioned story, what do you think will happen to Planet Alpha?
I think Halpha is going to be a side planet, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
like the tutorial world, so to speak, and then having the ability to jump. So like that's going to be the equivalent of our was that that was Nefarious. So it's going to be the equivalent of Nefarious in Base PSO2. That it was the central part. We had the forest that we went to very first thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start on Halpha very first thing, and then from there we're going to jump to Amduskia. We jump to all the other places in the meantime that are blanking in my mind right now. But we jump from planet to planet eventually, and we kind of get those. We get the story fleshed out in that respect, I think.
I see. I see. All right. Kystal, what do you want to improve for NGS in the future?
Yeah, I agree with getting more content NGS, and it'll also be great to have more story too. And just like what I answered, like similar to the previous question, like another question in the past. It'd be nice to have like an all ship lobby in NGS where everyone can meet up and host events. I think it'd be quite cool because there's lots of different events happening on different ships.
Like PvP?
Any event.
Okay, any event. All right. I guess one thing I want to see improvement for PSO2 NGS. I'll say science classes. Okay, but hear me out. Not just science classes, advanced classes for our classes here in NGS. Like Braver will have something in advance, Slayer as well, or Force, something like that. So I'm not gonna lie with you, most of our skill tree are very basic, and I want something like more specific to a playstyle of for players as well. And I'm pretty much sure that will open up more players enjoying the game, both hardcore and casual players alike.
So like a subclass kind of thing.
No. Like Ragnarok, right? We got Crusader, and then Crusader can go to Paladin and stuff like that. Or wait, for a more specific example, I guess Swordsman from Ragnarok, and then he can choose between Knight or Crusader, right? So it's kind of like dividing a play style on which one you can go for.
Yeah, there was like a class progression system, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So like an
Yeah.
upgrade kind of idea.
Yeah.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
sort of. Yeah.
All right. I guess that's everything. I want to ask you guys: is there anything that you guys want to promote, or before we end our podcast over here?
I shouted you out in a video. In today's video, actually, I recommended your channel so everyone can learn how to play Line Strike properly for the tournament. So
Oh.
everyone, make sure to hit up AlexWest's YouTube channel, as he does have like 7 videos or something already on how to play all the different elements. But other than that, I don't have anything. But I need to run right now. So
Yeah.
thank you for having me, and I'll catch you all later. Bye, guys. Bye
Right.
bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Hi, Keroppi.
Bye, Caro.
Bye bye, bro.
All right, Kystal.
So you can follow me on twitch.tv/Kystalstar. You can also find me on Twitter at Kystalstar_ and Blue Sky, Kystalstar.bsky.social. I also have YouTube at Kystalstar.
All right. Zan, do you have anything to promote?
I had a wonderful podcast with 4 amazing streamers, and if you want to see some dork when he eventually comes back, feel free to check out twitch.tv/ZanTM. I believe that's also my YouTube, and maybe at some point I'll actually get my story in a nutshell series done for Base PSO2. But yeah, thanks for having me, and check everyone else out as well.
Yeah, don't worry, Zan. I will definitely promote you as well. All right. And Emmy, do you have anything to promote aside from becoming the biggest whale in Ship 2?
No, I want to play with Zen. Yeah, that's what I had to say.
All right. Guys, do check out their amazing Twitch or YouTube channel. Make sure to check them out. Kystal is also streaming today. We're gonna raid Kystal after this, so I do hope you guys. Oh well, yeah, I am going to raid you. So I do hope you guys enjoy this podcast. I know it's not the perfect podcast, but hopefully in the future we'll have more episodes of this. If you guys enjoy it, please let me know. If you're watching the stream right now, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for enjoying us, joining us, and for our guests, guys, thank you so much for joining me for my episode 1 of podcast as well, because I will not make it without you guys as well.